stop. I tried to do this intro multiple times and it's been a fail because it is 8:56 p.m. and one, I don't have that much energy right now, and two, I'm in an apartment, so I'm not trying to be too loud, so sorry. Hi, today I'm going to be doing a Q&A, so it's going to be fun, it's going to be great, it's going to be amazing. Okay, let's start. Okay, for real though, let's start really. Okay, question 1. Does your diet have an effect on your period? How do you relieve your cramps? Any new business ideas? Actually, I'm on my period, so this is a perfect question to start off with. If you guys don't know, my diet is, I'm very weird. My diet is I don't even like to call it a diet because I'm not on a diet. This is how I eat. The way I eat is just very different because I have a lot of restrictions. I eat only gluten-free foods. I am allergic to peanuts and tree nuts, and I don't like to call myself vegan, but I don't eat meat or dairy products. A lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, well, what the heck do you eat, girl? I eat the basic things: fruits, vegetables, grains, rice, beans, vegetables. Did I just say that? Yeah. Chocolate, tea, just basic stuff. But does that affect my period? No, it does not. My period is very regular. It comes at around the same time every month. How do I relieve cramps? Now, this is something I learned in the past few years. I would say that being on a plant-based whatever, or vegan, or cutting out meat and dairy really has helped with my cramps, honestly. But I'm not gonna say that that's the solution. But I have noticed a week before I start my period, I try to make sure I eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, and most importantly, drink a lot of water. Like, water is so important. Like, I would just say a week before, just drink a lot of water and try to cut out as many sweets as you can. This is for me personally, but whenever I eat a lot of sweets, like chocolate and stuff like that before my period, which is usually around the time where I'm craving chocolate a lot more than usual when I'm about to start my period, but I noticed that if I eat a lot of sweets before my period, then my period symptoms are way worse than if I eat healthy and don't try to eat that many sweets and drink a lot of water. And also being active, like when I work out and stuff like that, but that's just extra. You don't really have to do that, but that does help. But as far as diet, just making sure, I'm telling you, try it. It should work. A week before your period, just drink your water, drink a lot of water. I say about 32 to 64 gallons of water a day. I said 32 gallons. What the heck? I mean 32 to 64 ounces of water, and cut out sweets. But usually after my period has started and I start eating sweets, I don't have that many cramps in comparison to eating a lot of sweets before my period starts. Your period cramps should cut out significantly. That's usually what happens for me. I mean, I'm telling you, try it. It's crazy. I don't even feel cramps till this day sometimes. Although I still feel a little breast soreness and fatigue and all that stuff like that. But as far as cramps, and I used to have back pains too and all of that, I don't feel anymore, or if I do feel it, it's very minimal. And any new business ideas? So as far as my business, if you guys don't know, I wanted to start a clothing business, a t-shirt business, something like that. It's still in progress, if I'm honest. It's been a lot going on in the world, so it's just been really hard to keep up with trying to do that and then everything. So it's in progress, but I'll keep you guys updated through my vlogs and stuff like that. This question was asked a couple of times. I don't know why, but do you want kids? If so, when do you plan on having kids, and how many do you want? Okay, so I don't know if this is because I joke around a lot in my videos about that I'm pregnant, but I just do that. I don't know. That's something that I do all the time. I don't really know why. It's not even funny, but I think it's funny. Honestly, I like kids, but I have grown up in a family with a lot of kids. So prior to meeting my boyfriend, I honestly was if I have kids, okay. But if I don't, I honestly probably would be fine. But maybe that would have changed. But as far as I kind of just, the fact that I grew up with a lot of kids in my family, and also I have a fear of getting pregnant, the whole process and the whole thing, it just scares the living daylights out of me. So all of that is enough to deter me from having kids if I was never with the person who wanted kids. But now that I'm with my boyfriend and he obviously wants kids, I have opened up to the idea of it. Not to say that I didn't want one, but it's if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'm still young. Who knows? But at this point in my life, I do want a kid in the future. Like I'm saying, like if it was up to me, 30-ish. I don't want any kids anytime soon. I don't even understand how people have kids at my age. I'm 24. There's people who's had kids that's younger than me. I don't understand it. Everybody's different, but for me, I want to wait until as long as I can. And how many? I would say honestly, one is enough for me if I can even survive one. I mean, if I just don't, my mind doesn't explode from my anxiety of having the kid before I even go into labor. So if I make one kid, that's enough for me. And the max, I don't even know how this would even be possible, but 2 possibly, but 1 is enough, okay? How to not compare yourself to others, or how to love yourself and be content with yourself. Okay, comparing, man, it does so much damage to us. Like I have dealt with comparing, obviously, like so many times. Comparing is just not good. And I actually found an article that I'm gonna link it in the description box below. I know I've been talking about a lot of articles lately, but this sums up like what I feel about comparing, and it also helps you, like gives you tips about comparing and how to stop it and blah blah blah. The name of the article is, or the title is, Why Comparing Yourself to Others is the Most Toxic Behavior. That's the word. It's super toxic to compare. Comparison is an ugly disease that will eat away at you, and yes, it will. It's ate away at me so many times. It will make you believe you're not good enough. It will make you believe what you're doing isn't enough. And it will make you believe you don't matter until not just your head believes it, but your heart too. Man, that's true though. Why you shouldn't compare yourself to others. I'm going to try to read this as quickly as I can, but I feel like it's very important, so just listen. The only way to get out of a pattern of unhealthy comparison is to strictly focus on the you of yesterday, the you were last week, last month, and last year. That's the only kind of comparison you should engage in. Why? Because it's the only way to have healthy and sustainable growth in your life. Now, when I first read this, I was just like, that makes so much sense. Here's what I mean by that. When you compare yourself to someone else, you're measuring yourself against a standard that isn't realistic because your circumstances and that person's circumstances are different. You don't have the same upbringing as that person, the same amount of money, the same family dynamics, the same education or experience. The list can go on and on. The bottom line is, it's not a fair comparison. There are many factors that make your situations too different to compare. On the flip side, when you compare yourself to the you of yesterday, it's a healthy comparison because you're measuring the same person with the same circumstances, and you know the potential to be a better you is there. It becomes about who you were and where you were, and not about anyone else. This is a sustainable type of comparison because you'll always find realistic room for improvement. See, when you compare yourself to someone who is ahead of you, it leaves you frustrated and disappointed. Say that again. And what happens when you're frustrated and disappointed? You want to quit. Don't we all, right? Yeah. Been there, done that. Not quit, but definitely had, I don't know about quit, but definitely got frustrated and felt like maybe I'm just never reach my goal or never be in a place where I feel like I want to, blah, blah, blah. That's not sustainable. But when you want to focus on the you of yesterday, it breeds confidence because you know you can do better than you did yesterday. And you know you can improve in this area or that area. The best part is competing with yourself leads to a habit of growth and lifelong learning. I love that. So I'm gonna link that, and then it goes into like telling you how, breaking it down, how you can set goals and blah blah blah. So it's a really good article. I'm gonna leave it in the description box, but I feel like that actually makes so much sense. I always know that comparing, is very toxic, and it honestly is a waste of time because it's like you're spending your life worried about somebody else when you can never change that somebody else. So you sitting there comparing yourself to somebody else, it's just wasting your life. Like the time is ticking as you're comparing, and that person that you're comparing yourself to is still living their life and making things happen, and you're just, there's no progress happening, and you're just feeling worse and worse about yourself. Alright, my camera rudely died on me. Just understand that it's a process, and if you do catch yourself comparing again, it's okay. It takes like practice, honestly, especially if you're used to getting into that mindset. And it's easy to when you're online and watching other people's lives and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we know the basic things like, okay, everybody only puts out the good and blah 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 blah, but again, we still go into that comparing. So if you can remind yourself that, you know, that is not productive when you do that, and it's not going to help you in the long run. And instead of comparing yourself to a person that you don't know, that is not going to do anything for you, if you compare yourself to your old self and try to figure out ways that you can improve, then that's like helping you. Did I ever go through the awkward stage during my hair journey? Yes, everybody has went through the awkward stage. It's totally normal. If you're there, it's just a stage in your hair journey. I think during my awkward hair stage, I did a lot of like twist in the front and a lot of bun styles because my hair was like a weird length, because my hair was a lot like weird. The texture was, you know, still transitioning, and the front part of my hair was a lot different than the back part. So I would do a lot of things to the front and then have the back like either out or in a bun or a puff. So again, I'll do like a twist, you know, twist my twist styles. And I just did a lot of that, honestly. I wasn't really super like the most diverse with hairstyles. I was just trying to get through that transitioning stage. How do you know when a guy truly likes you? I have to think about the times where I knew a guy really liked me. And I have to say, like, the number one trait is not to like question. Like, I know in the beginning you're like, oh, does he like me? But I feel like you would know. Like, a guy that genuinely liked me, I never really had to question it too many times. Like, he would give me signs that he clearly likes me, as in like making the first move, or like being, what would I say, assertive, or like not aggressive, but like he would show that he liked me. Like, you know, he would either text me first or call me first. I was never a person to make the first move. So I think that's how I distinguish if a guy liked me, is if he will always make the first, not always, but I pick up on signs a lot. And I've always been really good with a vibe. Like, I could tell. So again, if a guy is like looks at you, or if he like smiles at you, or if he finds an excuse to talk to you. On the flip side, if you're always questioning like, does he like me? Does he like me? Or like, why does he always like sometimes calls me and doesn't call me or whatever. If you have to question a guy's intentions a lot, then he most likely probably is not. I feel like that's a red flag, because if a guy likes you, unless he's just super, super shy, which, I mean, you know, I guess, but most of the time you should be able to tell by like, it seems like he's always trying to, you know, talk to you, or he's always looking at you, or, you know, he's making a lot of the first moves, I would say. And he's finding an excuse to hang out with you and talk to you. That's how I feel like it. Did I grow up being a shy or awkward person? And if I did, how did I deal with it? Yes. I've always been very shy and awkward. I mean, I'm not shy anymore. I'm just more like reserved, unless you like talk to me. But I think that's just like the introvert in me. But yeah, I would say I have. How did I deal with it? Honestly, I just accepted that. That's how it was. I was never a person that tried to be something that I'm not. And I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong, especially like in the middle school, high school stages. People try to fit in with the crowd, or the popular people, or the cool kids. And it's clear when somebody's trying to be something that they're not, and people can sense that. So I feel like, you know, that's not a good way to be. It's like, accept who you are. If you are this outgoing person, that's who you are. If you're not, if you're shy or awkward, I feel like you need to accept that. And of course, as far as the shyness, I do feel like you definitely need to try to improve on that. And for me, I got out of my shyness by getting into a club in my high school. I got into my first club, and that really helped me get out of my shyness. But as far as awkwardness, I mean, I just accepted that I'm a very like reserved, awkward person. I'm not super outgoing. I was never the popular kid. I was a kid that was cordial or friends with everybody. Like, I never wanted to be like, even with the nerds or the unpopular kids and the middle kids and the popular, you know, it was just like, I never had a group. I felt like I never fit in any particular group. I was just cool, you know, or cordial with everyone, which I was content with, honestly, because that's just who I was. I knew I never was the type to fit in. I just owned that. And even till this day, honestly, I love the fact that I'm like that, because I just feel like different. But I don't know, maybe also because my mom encouraged me. Like, she always said that was a good thing that you didn't fit in. I mean, not to say that it's bad if you do, but you have to just accept who you are and not try to be somebody that you're not, and know that's going to help you out in the long run, even when you can't see it when you're in school and it seems like everybody's trying to do the same thing, which is fit in or blah blah blah. And also, I also tried to hang around the people that I felt like I could be myself around. So people who may seem like shy kids or reserved kids or awkward kids, I always saw those kids and was attracted to the people who were more reserved, or the people who were a little more quirky, like dressed like creative or quirky. Like I like went towards those people, because if I were to like try to befriend an outgoing person, that was just too much energy or too much for me, because even though, I mean, I have energy, but you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I tried to befriend people that were similar to me rather than befriend somebody who was totally opposite just because they were popular or something. I feel so alone and it's so depressing. I feel like I have no one. Any advice on that? Also, I have tried to get my mind to focus on other things, but the minute I am not keeping myself busy, I begin to feel this way. Oh my gosh. Well, do you have any friends? Or anybody that you could talk to? Even like if you can't talk to your parents, maybe a cousin. I just feel like talking and expressing your feelings to somebody, having somebody that you can just be honest with, regardless of what you may think, like they may think about you. If you're honest and say that you feel alone or whatever, I feel like that may help. You said you feel like you have no one, but is that true? Like, is there somebody, like, again, a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, or somebody, if you don't have any friends? Some people do go online to help. I saw some people in the comments even commented on your comment and said that they're here if you want to talk. So I feel like, with this day and age, technology opens up a community full of people low key, I would say go and just film a YouTube video and say that you're lonely, and because I feel like there's people out, that may not be realistic because you may not be into that, but I feel like there's community groups out there that you can even find on the internet just to have somebody to talk to. Just like you see, just posting this, you have two people that you can like communicate with. So I feel like that helps, but I know it's hard because of the time that we're in quarantine. So like I said, if you have anybody in your family that you can think of, if you don't have any friends, if you do have some friends, I say reach out to them. But if you don't, I say find somebody in your family where there's a second cousin or somebody that you could just even if you haven't talked to them in a while, just call them up and ask how they are, and just be, honest with them, or, just try to talk with them. And if not, try to go online and find a group or a community that you can get in with, or even build your own community. Again, I don't know how realistic that is to some people, but I feel like if I was lonely and I was on YouTube, I could just maybe post a video about being alone, and so many people that feel the same way would probably comment, and then you'll have a community where you can like talk to people until quarantine is over, and then you can actually meet those people. So hopefully, I feel like that's realistic, but it depends on your situation, of course, and how comfortable you are with that. But I feel like you do have to come out of your comfort zone if you do want to help yourself. How do I express to my parents I feel left out? If it were me, I would just go to my parents and just say that I feel left out. I would just go to my mom or dad or whoever and be like, hey, there's something that I've really been thinking about and I've been scared to talk about, but I've really wanted to get it off my chest and be honest. And then they'll be like, okay, yes, sweetie. And then you'll be like, I've been feeling really left out. And they'll be like, why, sweetie? And then you'll be like, blah, 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 whatever the reason. Okay. What do you think is the best way to clip your ends? By blow drying it, then clipping, or straightening, then clipping? I don't think there's a best way. Either or works. I usually comb my hair out until it looks like a blowout, and then I would trim it. Any advice for brand new YouTubers? Man, the YouTube world is so like different nowadays. I mean, I don't want to have to like say the same thing everybody else always says, but I feel like honestly, the more you post, it's good. And also try to be different, like try to be creative with your content. Like honestly, it's hard to get your videos noticed because so many people are posting videos, so you have to make sure you have a bomb thumbnail that's like something creative, something different, something eye-catching. I like to look at it as, is this something that I would like watch? If this wasn't my channel, would I watch my own channel? You know, would I be interested in my own thumbnail? If I saw my thumbnail, would I be like interested in clicking on it? So I try to look at it like that. And just be you, honestly. Like, don't start off your channel with trying to be like everybody else, because in the end it's going to be draining, and then it's never going to be good. So if you just be you, then you will attract the audience that you really want, the true supporters who likes you for you, and then your YouTube experience will be so much easier like that, and so much more genuine, and you'll have a lot more fun because you're able to post whatever you want. And as far as posting whatever you want, I say don't even try to find a niche or a niche or whatever you say, however you say the stupid word. I hate that. I'm so mad that I decided to be so narrow and post only hair videos. And I didn't start off with just posting vlogs, clothes, like fashion, just everything I liked, because like now I'm in the journey of trying to transition my page into, you know, just me and whatever I decide to post. It's kind of like I had to start my channel over because I built my channel. You guys seen the video, hopefully, that I posted called The End of Jess Creation. It explains everything. But yeah, if I were to change anything in my YouTube career, I would say, number one, don't get a niche or a niche, whatever, and just post whatever the frick I want to post. And then two, post a lot more consistently. Those would be my main things, I would say. Oh, and also making sure that you try to reply to everybody. No, don't try, but reply to everybody in your comment section. That is a good idea. And support smaller YouTubers. The people that has the same amount of subscribers as you, I would say go to their videos and comment something nice and just, you know, support. Because I feel like smaller YouTubers that are like, they're like to be connected with other smaller YouTubers, because it's like community. You guys are all trying to like grow and you know, thrive together. So yeah. Okay, a few more. I'm trying to hurry up and do this because I'm supposed to be posting this today. Today is Wednesday, and I'm filming this at 9:34. What is my ethnicity? I am Black, African American. How do I get things done even on bad days? This is a really good question. So like today, I would say like these past few days have been like bad days, as in like I have just not been feeling well because I'm on my period. So I feel fatigued, like I just want to lay down in my bed and just watch movies or videos all day. I don't want to feel like doing anything, movement. No, I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay down. But my mind wants to be productive, and I know I have stuff to get done. So honestly, it's like what helps me is just waking up early, to be honest. When I wake up early, I feel I'm being a productive person, and then I also make sure I will write out a list. Like writing out things helps me a lot. So I will write out either the night before or the morning of. I would write out my whole plan for the day. I would do it from the time. Like I'll say 7 a.m. wake up, 7:05 get out of bed. Get out of bed, make my bed. 7:10, brush my teeth, wash my face. 7:15, 20, eat breakfast. Like that's usually, I'll plan out my day from morning to night. I'll spend 15 minutes, 10 minutes doing that, and then I'll just follow everything on my list. And I feel like once it's written down, because it's written down, like it's like I have clarity of everything I need to do. And then I just get it done. I feel like the more you think about doing something, the more like you're probably not going to do it. For me, it's like if I don't immediately get up and do something that I said that I want to do, I'm probably not going to end up doing it because it's just wasting time. Like going back, I have a tendency sometimes to go back and forth in my mind like, I should do this way, and then I'll do this at this time, and blah blah blah. Like I'll just have a conversation, then I look up and the day is over and I'm like, crap, you know? So it's like whenever you want to do something, just get up and do it. Even like after, if you want to take the tip on just writing it down, writing whatever your day out, planning out your day, then once you do that, get up and just start. Move your body. Be smarter. Don't listen to your mind that wants you to overthink everything. Just get up with your legs and just move. Just start. Just do. And I feel like once you're in the motion, then usually you'll like, you know, do it. Sorry if you guys hear any loud noise. My neighbors have seemed to got a sound system going on, so it's like a movie theater up there. Last 2 questions. I followed your journey and I have one question. My hair is so stiff. It is never bouncy. I don't know what to do about that. Is there something you recommend? For example, when I use my Denman brush, my curls never pop back. They just stiff like a stick. LOL. So, I mean, as far as stiffness, it's like how often do you wash and deep condition your hair? Like for me, if my hair is stiff, it's because it has product overload in it. It has too much product in it, or like gel or something like that. And I feel like my hair needs to be conditioned. Like I feel like if your hair is properly conditioned, your hair would never be stiff. So it's like, how much are you conditioning it? Yeah, but typically I like to deep condition my hair once a week, and then throughout the week I'll apply leave-in conditioner. Hopefully you're washing your hair once a week, because if you're not, maybe you need to wash your hair more because it has too much product buildup or something in it. But again, if your hair is still stiff after you deep condition or use a hair mask once a week, and then throughout the week apply leave-in conditioner to your hair. Whenever your hair needs a refresher, just use a lot more leave-in conditioners on your hair. That should help with the stiffness. How often have I been going out to protest? How do I protect myself when going out? I have only been out to protest once. Honestly, it's because of the fact that there's sicknesses out going on. I have just been very paranoid about that, so I haven't been out protesting as much. So I'm not really honestly an expert to talk about because I haven't been out. As far as protective, there are ways out there that, you know, you could just look up how to protect yourself while protesting on Google. What are you talking about? Protection against sickness or protection against, you know, what's going on in protests? I don't know. But when I went to go protest, I mean, I just stumbled upon a protest. But thankfully, I had my mask on, and I honestly was not I wasn't in the middle of the crowd because, again, I'm paranoid about getting sick. So I was like social distancing myself away from the crowd, but I was still like, you know, walking with everybody and protesting and saying no justice, no peace, and, you know, protesting, still walking, but just keeping my distance. So it probably wasn't, some will say, you know, I don't know, everybody's opinion, but that was my best. That was the only way for me to protest and also be like careful and not be anxious about me getting sick or something like that. Last question is, how has living with your boyfriend been going for me? It's been going really, really well, honestly. It has been a journey in the beginning. For the most part, it's been a nice journey. It's been really nice to live with my boyfriend, even though I'm still like paranoid about the fact that this is actually happening. You know, not really anymore, but I'm a kind of an overthinker, and I always like overthink things and just go into my head about things and be like, is this really happening? Like, I kind of still feel like I have a place to go back to if I wanted to go, you know? It still hasn't hit me that I'm like, here, this is like, I can't go back to my place. Honestly, I haven't thought about my place in a long time. It's not even my place anymore. Somebody's probably already moved in there, which is crazy to think. But the experience has been really nice. We definitely still have had to adjust to just being together because we were so used to living on our own and doing our own things and doing things our way, and now it's like combining two people who are used to being independent and doing things their way and trying to work together as a team when we're kind of like two leaders in a sense. We had to definitely sit down and have some communication talks and understandings, but besides all that, it's been really good. Also, the good thing is he still works, so I know with quarantine, some people, both partners, have had to have lost their job, unfortunately, or have to stay at home. So we haven't experienced that. Like, we're not around each other 24/7. He works pretty long hours, and I have went back to babysitting here and there, or I'll be, you know, filming and doing whatever, my job. So it's like, we honestly we're not in each other's faces 24/7, right? Honestly, he works so often, and I'm obviously working. It's like, it's kind of similar to how it was when we were living apart, because we don't see each other that often. I mean, we do, but you know what I'm saying? We're both working, so it's kind of been nice. Honestly, I really like it that way. See, I don't know how it would be if we were together 24/7 in each other's faces, but yeah, so it's been nice. It's been pretty good so far. So far, so good. Should I bring him in? I'm gonna annoy him and have him come in and tell me how he's been like he living with me. He's gonna be like, you just called me in for that, girl. Hello? Hey, babe. What are you doing?
I'm sitting down.
I thought you were gonna play the game.
Yeah, I've been trying to this whole time.
Oh, can you come here really quick?
No.
Why? Can you hear me in here?
No.
Can you come here really quick?
No.
Babe, I need you for real, just for a second. Please, come on.
No.
Babe, seriously, this is not a question.
No.
Get in here before I have to come and drag you.
No.
I just need to ask you a quick question.
No, I'm resting.
Fine, I'm gonna come to you. Alright, I love you.
I love you.
Yeah. Alright, hold on. Oh, you see all that? That's how it's been. You hear me in there talking about you? Alright, baby. So, the people want to know, when you gonna propose? I'm just kidding. That was just my question.
Funny.
This is terrible lighting. And if my breath smells, sorry, I'm hungry. But how has it been living together?
Been fine.
Fine?
Yeah.
Only fine?
Uh-huh.
Babe.
What?
That's a terrible answer.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, that's better. Has it been the best time of your life?
Yeah, babe.
Babe! Am I hurting you?
No.
I'm laying down. Okay, so it's been fine.
It's been great.
Do you realize that I'm going to be here forever?
Yeah.
I'm not going back to my place?
Yeah.
You had me coming here for that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
I could have just told them that.
Yeah, I know. You did. Why didn't you?
I don't know. I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for being honest. Alright, that's it. Okay, hope you enjoyed this Q&A. Let me know if you guys want me to do more Q&As, or if this is just boring, then fine. Be that way. I'm never doing one again. I'm just kidding. Obviously, if you watch until the end, comment 3. Let's do purple since I'm wearing purple and I love purple. Let's comment 3 purple hearts if you watch until the end so I can show you so much love, because I love seeing that you guys watched until the end. I know I always say that, but I really do love seeing it. And I will see you guys in my next video on Friday. Bye.